Hello there, Isaac and Jennifer. How are you?
Doing well. How are you, Becky?
Good. Hanging in there.
Howdy.
Howdy. How you doing?
Good. How are you?
Good. You guys wanting to hide today?
I had it on.
Yeah, I don't see any faces. Ah, there's Isaac and the traveler. All right, you got a little partner with you today. Awesome.
Yeah, I got my kiddo today, so
Good. All right. I'm sure the kiddo will have some great advice for us.
yeah.
All right, let's go ahead and dive in. I'm sure others will join. You guys have questions today?
I okay.
Yeah, go for it. Yeah.
Okay. So I'm getting ready to launch sort of my group practice,
Mhm.
and I've done like a ton of work on the SEO end for as a solo practice,
Mhm.
and I'm kind of worried if I change any of the SEO or the meta descriptions, if that's going to be problematic. I also have like in my website extensions, like it'll be, counseling, like wholewellnesstherapy.com/counseling Sacramento.
Mhm.
And now I'm expanding to another location where I have in the Fair Oaks area. And
Mhm.
I don't know if I should change that because then I've got to wait for Google to crawl.
Mhm.
So I have
Yeah.
questions a lot around that stuff.
Okay. So first of all, typically we don't usually teach that you actually put the location in the URL.
Okay.
So we rely on Google crawling the site and seeing the address and seeing the connection between the Google My Business map and the site and all that stuff. So they will know definitely where you are.
Okay.
Yeah. And so, Sacramento is pretty bigger than Fair Oaks. So if you want to just keep it the same with just Sacramento, that's cool. No big deal. Most people won't actually notice the URL when they're clicking through. Plus, Fair Oaks is close enough, right? Isn't it? I mean, like if you were branded in the Sacramento area, that's not a deterrent, I wouldn't think, right?
Right. Yeah.
Right. Okay. The one thing you should do though is you should have 2 location pages.
2 location pages.
Yeah.
Okay.
So like you'll have I don't know what your site looks like, but maybe now you have contact or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you should have a drop down, one for Sacramento, one for Fair Oaks.
I have right now. I have like the contact as an anchor on the bottom of my page, and I have both of those Google Maps, Google My Businesses in there.
Mm-hmm.
But what I was thinking of doing is just putting my contact form at the bottom, and then having like maybe a contact page where I have the locations or something like that, rather than I have the locations on one side and the contact on the other as an anchor at the bottom.
Okay. The latest stuff that I have learned on local SEO is if you have dedicated pages for each location, you're going to do better.
Okay.
Yeah. And so what we do, because you have more room for one to really do something with it. So you can actually, I'm going to show you a contact page, the way we do it, just so you can see that. Let's see. Go here. I wish I could remember someone who has 2 locations right now, and I can't. We have plenty of them, but I forget. So if I go to a contact page, then what we're going to see is the form, of course, and then the map.
Mm-hmm.
And this map is actually pulled right from Google My Business so that it has the business name on it, right?
Okay.
But down here, we include written driving directions from various directions, I guess. Okay. And so if you have separate contact pages for each location, you can really deck this page out. And And the site I'm showing you is lightwaypsych.com.
Mhm.
So just so you know, if you want to look at it later, but you know, they're basically saying, hey, if you're coming from this direction, you know, take this exit, go this way, whatever, and you want to refer to major points of interest or whatever, you know, like if there's a park or something that's well known, go ahead and talk about that, and that kind of thing helps Google buy in more that you are a full-fledged local business, because you're talking about landmarks, you're giving directions from all these locations, and it really helps rank in both locations if you have two different.
Okay.
Okay. So we talked about the contact pages. We talked about the URLs themselves, probably not needing to change. The actual SEO fields, if you can fit both locations into those fields, that would be great. It doesn't necessarily have to be in the title tag, you know, the SEO title, but if you can get it in the description, that would be really helpful. Yeah. Does that help, Isaac? Does that answer all of
Yes.
that? Or, yeah.
That's super helpful. I mean, I have other questions too, but I'm gonna let other people decide.
Okay, yeah, we'll just cycle through.
Okay.
We'll let everybody have one, and then we'll come back around. Okay, Jennifer, ready for you.
So I am rolling out a workshop in first part of next year. So I'm wondering if you have any tips on how to highlight that on your website, how to, I mean, marketing, I'll have to, you know, network and figure that out on my own, but ways to, on my website, be able to promote it. And maybe if people are searching online locally or nearby, because, you know, potentially people could drive for an hour or more to, you know, come to this workshop, because it's only offered by one other practitioner in New Jersey.
Mhm.
So just trying to see if you have any advice for how to market or how to, you know, pitch it on the website, basically.
I'm gonna make a guess that it's Hold Me Tight. Is that right?
What's that?
Is it the Hold Me Tight workshop?
No, it's the Bringing Baby Home that Gottman offers.
Okay.
So I'm going next month to California to receive the training myself, and then going to be bringing it back next, starting in the spring.
Okay. All right. So here's the thing with workshops and groups, actually, right? Same kind of concept. People don't really search for workshops very much. So your best bet at both filling groups and at filling workshops is to be attracting traffic for that population that would be interested.
Mhm.
Right? So
Right.
having pages on your site that are going to attract mothers, that are going to attract parents, that are going to attract perinatal, postpartum, whatever, all those kinds of people,
Right.
what you want to do. And so then when they come to your site and from any page, they're going to look at the navigation. And if you have a workshops tab in the navigation,
Right.
then that's your best bet.
Okay.
You know?
I have. So, okay.
Yeah, and you could certainly have it be even if you have room in the navigation, you could have it say Bringing Baby Home workshop.
I have that. Yeah.
Oh, you do? Okay, you already got all that. Okay, cool. So that way they're at least going to see it and notice it. That doesn't really, that basically hopefully gets some attention from existing visitors. It doesn't really bring more visitors, right? That's just kind of the way it is. There's a couple of different things that you can do, but it involves paid ads.
Okay.
More than organic SEO. So do you know how much traffic you get to your site now?
I can look at Google Analytics.
Because one thing that you could do, you know, unfortunately, I don't remember all the details of your practice, but is your practice largely centered around this concept of?
Yeah, so I have two populations that I serve. One is largely the maternal mental health, all prenatal, postpartum, infertility. Then I also hold office hours twice a week on a college campus. So Had some challenges around how to have one website that,
Mhm.
it talks to both populations. I think I've done that
Okay,
as
well,
well.
you can still do this. You can still do this. One thing that you might want to do is, and most therapists go, oh, gag, but it's actually quite effective for increasing um, the exposure to you. Is
Uh-huh.
if you wanted to, you could run a Google Ads retargeting campaign,
Okay.
a Google retargeting campaign. So basically, anyone who lands on your site on one of the pages that has to do with the baby topic, right?
Mhm.
Mothering topic, whatever, you could then show up around Google. Basically, it follows people around when they're on Google. And it's
Mhm.
Google Display Network. And what it's doing is it's basically putting an ad in front of them saying, hey, Bring Baby Home workshop is this date, January, whatever, or, whatever, something like that. And
Mhm.
so what it does is it's basically, it's another way to get in front of the traffic you've already generated.
Okay.
So now with it being in the workshop tab, you're hopefully having them see it, but this way you actually, whoever comes, you make sure they see you doing whatever else they're doing in their life.
Right.
Okay. And the thing is, who would do that? I mean, we could do it. I would have to give you a custom price on that because we don't normally do it, because workshops are different, right? Normally we rely on organic traffic, and that's how we make your life work, right?
Right.
Organic traffic ranking and getting clients that way.
Right.
Workshops and groups are a different beast, and so you need to do some extra stuff. Obviously Facebook ads as well, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I mean, I'm doing like in-person marketing and networking for it in next month. There's a midwife organization that's having a symposium, so I'm having a table there. So,
Yeah.
I might get a lot of, just word of mouth. Because
Yeah.
this is birth workers across New Jersey who are
Mhm.
coming to. So
Yeah, I
that's
mean,
what's
that's great. And
driving.
how many could you hold anyway?
Oh, in the workshop,
Yeah.
it's going to be 5 to 7 couples.
Okay.
Because
You don't need a lot to fill it.
no, I don't. But
Yeah.
I mean, the price tag could turn some people off because I mean, it's 12 hours out of my weekend. So,
Yeah, sure.
but
You know
so
what you might want to do? Here's a suggestion. And this is kind of what I do as well. Recently just did this. Just kind of do grassroots stuff, do the networking stuff for the first one.
mhm,
It gives you a chance to I mean, 5 to 7 couples, you could probably fill it just with, if you're one of 2 people in the state who's doing this stuff, it could be filled.
right,
So do the first one that way and do the whole run through of the workshop and
mhm,
get yourself organized, get into a groove, before you do it again, do a postmortem on how it went, what you would change, all that kind of stuff, so that you can fine tune it. And then once you've done it first, go ahead the next time and actually advertise it more, right? And not just do the grassroots thing.
right,
Yeah, I did a workshop in August here locally. Had a bunch of people, a fair number of them bought my high-end coaching program, like 25%. That was my main thing. It's only $100 workshop, 4 hours,
mm,
but my ROI was really good. And then once I had that down, then I knew, oh, here's what I need to change. I need to not do this, not spend so much time on this, spend a little more on this, got great feedback, got testimonials, right?
mhm,
Which is something that will be great for you to gather in this
right,
first round, get the testimonials, even tell them, hey, I have a feedback form, and for everyone who fills this out, I'll give you this free. Give them something for free.
okay,
Okay, to really motivate them to fill it out. And we got 17 out of 18 people filling out the feedback form that way by giving them something for free. Then I had this whole slew of things that I could put on the sales page for next time, because it looked, I had all these
mhm.
people saying wonderful things. And
Did you
so
do did you do retargeting, or did you just have your email list locally that you relied on to get people?
I actually networked. There was someone here that has a Boulder Psychotherapy Institute that has like 2,000 therapists on their list that are local. And
Okay,
she said, "Will you do a workshop?" And I said, "Yeah, hurt me. I'll do one." So anyway, that's what we did. We just charged
okay,
$100, and so it was $1,800 that was brought in that day.
Right.
And, you know, she took some and I took some, and then I got upsells out of it. But it
Right.
was great to go through the process and, you know, kind of perfect the timing for the next time, right? And see what
Right.
was good and what wasn't good and all that kind of stuff. And it's a low pressure way because I'm not spending a bunch of money on advertising.
Right.
Now I just get to kind of go through it with my homies here, right?
Right.
And then, yeah, and then the next time through, I just marketed it for a week to my list and filled it.
Yeah.
And, you know, and then, you know, I'll probably do that maybe, I don't know, 2 or 3 times a year. We haven't even got fancy yet with paid advertising at all.
Okay.
So we're just really just kind of stepping it up, right? Do the easy stuff, fine tune, see what you learn, you know.
Yeah. No, that's what I had in mind. I'm also looking at hopefully hosting it at the local YMCA.
Mhm, mhm.
Hoping that I can get it hosted there. I can get them that I can get a feature because a lot of YMCA's they email out a couple times a month.
Yeah,
Let's wait on there and get it featured there. So I'm hoping for that as
yeah.
well.
Yeah, it's such an innocuous thing, right? It's a positive thing. It's not like you know, a group for personality disordered people or something, right? I mean, it's like a celebratory bring baby home. See, like that little cute one right there. So it's going to be, you know, it's a feel good thing. So I think that there will be a lot of organizations locally that would be really happy to
Yeah.
support that. Yeah, and you could probably fill it, and then once you start filling it with those contacts a couple of different times, then you can get fancier,
Right.
you know.
One other question you had asked about my Google Analytics and traffic.
Yeah.
But tell me quickly, please, where I go to figure out like how much I've had. I haven't played around with it a whole lot.
Do something and share your screen. See
I'm
the
on my
bottom,
phone
see
and
the
not my
bottom of the screen there, it says share. See that green button?
Yeah, except I am on my phone and not my laptop because my
Oh,
laptop camera doesn't work,
well, tell
unfortunately.
you what, tell you what, I'm trying to, you basically go into analytics and there's something called, I can't remember the name, they change it all the darn time. Audience? Is it audience?
Yeah, I see audiences.
No, that's probably specific to the people, to where they're coming from and all that kind of stuff. What are your choices on the left-hand side?
So it's real-time audience acquisition, behavior, conversion,
Acquisition.
acquisition. And then go to all traffic.
Yeah. As your, and change your dates for a month. You see up the top right, there's dates.
Yep. What time frame should I look at? Last 30 days
The
or
last 30 days. Just get an
last
idea.
30?
Yeah.
So it says looks like 104 sessions in the last 30 days.
How many
40 40 new users.
Okay. Does it say unique visits?
Visits.
Unique visits. And we can guess that there's probably like, I don't know, 90 uniques or something like that. So
It says 34 are from social media, 29 are from organic search, 27 from referral, 14 are direct.
not a lot from organic. Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay, so here's what I would do to totally capitalize on it. Before you even go do this networking, I would try to figure out how you can fire a pixel on those pages, which means in Google Ads, you can basically say, "Hey, I want to start collecting a list of everybody who visited these pages," because you're gonna start doing this networking. Some people are gonna come and look at it, and they aren't gonna buy, right?
Mhm.
But if you can retarget them later, then your chance of getting them to at a time that works for them is going to be much better. I realize the baby thing has a timeline, right? I mean, the
Yeah.
baby home thing is only a short period, but yeah.
Yeah. But I mean, the workshop targets actually a wide range. It can be, couples planning to have a baby soon, couples who are pregnant, or even for, the first 3 years.
Okay, you got a runway then. Yeah.
Yeah, so there's a wide range. I realize that most parents, when the baby's here, they don't have the time. So
Yeah. I would just
or
go
yeah.
just go do some Google searches on retargeting and what you
Mhm.
need to do to tag those pages or those visits so that you know who to retarget later.
Okay. You said something about a pixel.
Yeah, it's this way of basically saying, hey, this person came to this page. We want to retarget them later. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So look at that.
And it's called the Google Pixel or Pixel, just Pixel.
Good question. I don't even know anymore. Google changes their vernacular all the time, but it probably is. It's retargeting pixel. Look up that.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, if you Google Pixel, it's going to give you the phone probably.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Hey, Isaac, the answer is 200. Okay. Deborah, you have a question? You're muted.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. By the way, your hair is fabulous.
Thank you, my gray
That-
hair.
No, it is you. I'm telling you, it is you. It's a totally different presence. It's awesome.
Well,
So,
thank you. I'm old and wise. I earned
I
it.
know. I'm considering getting rid of the coloring routine myself. So anyway, my question. I'm excited about this and I'm a little daunted, but I'm hopeful that you can help me figure out a path to do this easily and elegantly. Similar to some changes that I think you made about a year ago in terms of your service offerings and consolidating things and making it streamlined and really honing in on your niche and your genius.
Mm-hmm.
I'm doing something similar.
Mm-hmm.
And surprisingly enough, 2 programs are coming in that are filling out this process of streamlining and really honing in on my genius. And 2 older ones I want to retire, quote unquote. I don't think I'm going to take those pages off of the website because it's so much work to create a specialty page. And there might be times when a specific client and her situation might need those programs, but I'm not going to advertise them. I'm not going to promote them. I'm just going to focus on this cycle that really hones in on the genius point of the work that I do. So what I want to know is how best to do this in the organization and the architecture of the site. So I want to create a new tab that's, the big picture arc is transform your life, create soul satisfying love, and fulfill your destiny. The fulfill your destiny part is the part that's coming in. I want a tab for that. I don't think I have room on my menu to have another tab.
Mm-hmm.
And there isn't extraneous stuff up there.
Mm-hmm.
I could take off the events tab, I suppose, but that's kind of part of the whole presence of the Institute. So if I get rid of the Transform Your Marriage tab, which is changing the architecture, and I just put those programs, I keep them on the site, and remember I have a Squarespace site, so I keep them on the site, but I take them out of the menu so I can create room to have a Fulfill Your Destiny tab that these new programs pages will be on. That occurs to me to be one way I could do it.
Why don't you just have an item in your nav called marriage, and then put your programs under that, and then have another tab called your destiny and put your program under that, something like that.
So I could change the Transform Your Marriage to just marriage. And still keep that visible on the,
If you just said you want to, because there will be some people that will be drawn to that. It still gives them the ability. I mean, the full name of the program doesn't matter. The point
right,
is there pain around marriage? If so, they're going to look at that.
right.
If they're pain around whatever, their own personal stuff, then maybe their destiny is more what they're going to look at. You just need a road sign, you don't need a full thing, a full title in your navigation by any means.
Will that change anything with how it's showing up or how Google is indexing this, or change anything with rankings or anything like that?
Navigation items don't affect ranking. The page SEO is still all the same. It's just a tag. It's just a pointer to something.
Okay. So I could keep them visible, shorten the title of the nav bar tab,
Mm-hmm.
make room for this new one with the new programs. And does that, I mean, I could go to your website and look, but don't you have all your programs under a tab called programs?
You won't believe our site when you look at it now. Totally different. We have very simple navigation. We've changed our whole focus to capture the email on the homepage. So we have a top-down site now. Yeah, and so we have something called offerings. That's it. You click on that, you go to an offerings page. Yeah, very streamlined now. And we're collecting, I don't know, 150 emails from the homepage alone a month.
Do you have like a landing page as your homepage now? Where it's just a lead magnet with a here, get this cool free thing?
Pretty much, yep. And like three items in our nav. That's it. And then they have to drill down to go find anything else. We could also you could also post something in the Facebook group after you ponder this, and I could go look at your site and make a video for you of different options.
I would like that, because my overall goal is lean, and I mean that like an engineer. Lean, elegant, streamlined, get rid of the extraneous blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
That I'm so prone to. And just really focus in on what is my mission, my destiny, my big work in the world, and that's what I do.
Yep. And that's what you should do. And so you do need to make it less verbose, less options, more streamlined. Yeah. So what I would suggest is go take a look at our site and how we're not totally done building it out yet. We're still doing some branding work. It's of course a live site, right, with a lot of traffic, so it's a little tricky. But it's almost there, and you'll see how different it is now. But
Is there
that? Yeah, look at that, and then ponder that, and then post kind of maybe a modified question based on what you've seen and what you're pondering now. And then I'm happy to like pull up your site and do a video for you with some thoughts that I have, different options.
Okay.
That'll be better than trying to answer it on the fly here.
Is your site still a WordPress site?
Yeah. You can still do it with Squarespace, though. It doesn't matter.
Because I was there recently and I saw your landing page and I thought you didn't recommend that. At one point, I thought that was considered a turnoff to people.
The landing page type thing?
Yeah. The lead magnet is your landing page. The first, your home page is as a lead magnet page.
I don't recommend that for specific SEO searches. But my homepage gets so much random stuff from therapists all over the place. We still have landing pages that are indexed for a whole bunch of other stuff, and they still get traffic directly, right? The homepage doesn't impact your SEO on other pages. But my homepage gets people looking for logos, people wondering about directories, people wondering how much money do therapists make? I mean, all sorts of bizarre things, right? So I'm just like, let's use this to get emails so that we can actually build a relationship over time and market to them. And if they're looking for AdWords, they're still going to land on our AdWords page. They're looking for web design for therapists, they're going to land on that page. You know, they're looking at blogging for therapists, they're going to land on that page. All those are optimized. They're in the back end, all working. But for this general random homepage traffic, we're trying something different. And so far it's working, and it's uptick in our growth in our list.
Okay. Okay, I'll go spend some time really looking at your new site structure and see what you're doing there. And
it's different when it's a local business, right? With specific search terms, that's one thing. But when you're national or international and it's a kind of a population that's landing there, then, you know.
well, see, that's the thing with me. It's national and it's a population.
Right.
And
exactly.
and that's
And it may or may not make sense for you. I want to dig into it a little more and look at it.
I understand that, but I'll go look at your site and then post some new questions and welcome your thoughts in a video. That'd be great. Thank you.
Okay, great. So I think that Diana was here next. I'm not sure if it's Diana or Jerry. So whoever wants to jump in first and ask your question. Whoever unmutes themselves first wins.
Hi.
Jerry won.
Hi, Becky.
Hi.
How you doing?
Good. How are you?
Good. It's been a while.
Yeah.
I think the last time I joined in, I was at a ski slope and joining you in on a break.
Well, hey, you know,
Almost-
maybe you're a little warmer today.
Almost time again. Anyways, you know, this was quite a heavy lift to build my own website. You know, to learn, I chose to use Elementor.
Mhm.
I used Elementor, and you know, it's quite a learning curve. So anyways, I finally have my website done. There's some things I like, some things I don't like about it.
Sure.
And I just took 3 weeks to do my first blog piece. I mean, it was grueling.
Yeah. Okay.
So I'm hoping those are going to come a little bit quicker and faster. But I'm kind of a very linear process kind of guy. You know, I have to get one thing done before I start another thing. And what I really want out of today is just like to answer the question, where do I go next? You know, do I build out more blog articles? You know, I think my original game plan was at least get some content there to have some stickiness and some people there, and then start doing Google ads probably to drive some traffic to my site.
Okay, you have your specialty pages up.
Yes,
And
yes.
you have blogs, the blog posts in the sidebar.
I haven't yet. I've got to figure that out. I've got a blog menu item, but that's one thing I got to do this weekend is figure out the.
What's your URL?
It's jerrysnookpsychotherapy.com. I have it loaded here, but you can look it up on your end too. And if there's anything that looks like a obvious error, please feel free to say something.
Okay. I'm not going to spend a ton of time.
I understand.
You know, but I want to look really quickly. And I also want to give you guys a warning that working at the home office here today, and the dog may bark. There's stuff going on in the background. He's in the laundry room, so hopefully we won't hear him too loud. Okay, first thing, Jerry, get your nav on one line.
Yeah, you know, yeah, it depends on the screen width.
Yeah, but like, I don't know, maybe you could do something with this phone number and get that there. I don't know, something.
You know, on a wider screen, it will fall on one line. I've got to do a logo instead of just using font.
Yeah, and you know, I'm on a laptop with it all the way wide, and it's
Right.
on 2 lines, so that's unusual. It should be on one. Let me just look at specialties. So you got anxiety, and then yeah. So if you add your sidebar, that's going to be good. All right, good. Yeah, so get some blog posts hanging off these things, and you know you're going to have them in the sidebar, and you're going to link out, you know, automatically when they're in the sidebar, you're linking out to the blog post, and then link back from the blog post to the specialty page. Okay, so what I would do first is I would get those silos nailed. for each page. You know what I'm saying by that? The content hub, right? With the sidebars.
You mean with the related
Yeah.
blog post along the sidebar?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've got to look into creating the sidebar. I'm not sure how to do that without, creating an asymmetrical presentation, but maybe that's not important.
This is okay. So here's your specialty page on the left, and then on the right, you have related blog posts.
Okay.
And it's category driven, so only the blog posts that are related to this specialty page should be pulled over here in this thing. And then each blog post itself, when you go into it, at the bottom of it, it should link back to the relevant specialty page. Okay. So that's going to link back to that page.
With a link within the text, you mean?
Yeah. So that's the first thing you need to do. Get that done.
You're talking for each specialty, at least a couple different.
Yeah. At least one blog for each specialty.
Okay.
In the sidebar. And then link back to the specialty page. And then you have at least that, you have one petal on your flower, right? But your flower is there. Blog page, the specialty page being the center, and then it goes blog out to the blog and back. Okay, so you have one petal. You want to keep creating those blogs, obviously, so that it grows and your content hub is bigger. But also the other thing I would do is I would set up your ranking in SERPFox.
SERPFox, you said?
Yeah. And that's in the PPU stuff. We talk about SERPFox, SERPFOX.
Right.
P as in Paul. So set up those so that you can start tracking your rankings. Just, you'll just have a baseline then. You'll know where you started, and then you'll see the more you blog, the higher you go. Okay.
Okay.
So that's going to be really beneficial to be able to see what happens when, oh gosh, I just added, 3 more blogs in the last 3 months. And look, I went from position 84 to 52. Now I know this is worth it.
Okay. And at what point am I ready for Google AdWords?
You're ready at any time. I would definitely get the silos set up so that you don't lose your focus on that. But then the only other thing, like if you wanted to start running Google Ads right now to your anxiety page, for instance, the only thing you really need to do is get a contact form on this page. Okay.
On the specialty pages.
Yeah. You have this down here, and that's great. But a lot of people aren't going to scroll all the way to the bottom. And if you're paying for traffic, you want to give yourself the best chance to have it convert. So
I'm sorry. Where on the specialty page?
In the sidebar usually. So I'm going to show you an example.
Oh, wait, I'm sorry. I've lost you. There we go. Okay. I'm sorry.
Am I sharing my screen still?
Yeah. Now I see your face.
Oh, no wonder you're lost.
There we go.
So here's a site that is running Google Ads to augment their traffic. And if they were running an ad to this marriage counseling, couples counseling page, people are going to land on here, but right over here in the sidebar, they have a form. So people don't have to scroll all the way to the bottom of the page.
Or go to the contact page.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, and I would actually not call it this. I would call it contact me. This is a little scary for people, right? They don't want to actually think that their appointment, they're setting an appointment. They want to just ask a question to make contact.
What are your thoughts on the way that I did the action down at the bottom? I gave them a choice of either calling me directly or the call to action, either calling me directly or scheduling a call. You can click on the scheduler. It gives them a chance to pick a 20-minute time slot.
I would actually have the number there, and then I would say contact me instead of schedule a call. Because you're only giving them, you really want the call to action to be as least scary as possible.
Right.
And contact me is much less scary than schedule a call.
So
or
the contact me would go to the email form.
yeah, go to your contact page.
So can I link it to just to the contact page where I
Change
have that?
Change the button to say contact me, and then yeah, you can go right to your contact page.
So forget about the scheduling app.
Yes, that's what I would do. And you could put a schedule option on the you have it on the contact page. So
Well, if
that's
you go to the contact page, no, I don't have on the contact page. I have.
no, you have the button to schedule a call. This
wait,
is your contact page, right?
I'm sorry. Somehow I lost. Well, I don't see your. Oh, there you are. Okay, right. I have both. I have the contact by email, contact by phone, schedule, no call. I have all three options there.
Most people are going to contact you by email.
Okay.
So that's the call to action that you should use more on your site on the other pages. And then when they come here, they could then decide, hey, I'm just going to call them, or I'm going to actually schedule a call. But mostly you're going to find they're going to fill out your form.
Okay, so keep the same two buttons, but one of them will just link to the contact form.
Mhm.
One will activate the phone for dialing for mobile.
Yeah. Yep, that's what I would do.
Or should it link should it do the same thing that the email link in the menu, the bottom menu does, where you just it'll open your Outlook or your
Well, you have that here anyway for
yeah.
So you're fine.
So you want a form for the one on the right. You want a form.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I can do that.
Yeah, and you want the form on the landing page where you're going to send paid traffic in the sidebar.
Right.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
If you have other specific questions, regarding anything else on your site, just post it out in the group and I'll go take a look.
Okay.
Tag me out in the group. Say, hey, could you look at my blah, blah, blah page and tell me your thoughts? Okay.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Thanks, Becky.
Yeah, sure. Cool. Diana.
Yes, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, good. I forgot to unmute myself last time. So
No worries.
I am still having an issue with Google serving up my LGBT affirmative therapy specialty page for search terms couples counseling and then my city and marriage counseling. My anxiety treatment page seems to be fine, but the other ones, it's just going straight to that one, despite my tweaks of the page and adding in, some more keywords that I thought would improve it.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I'm gonna go look at it. Just had a thought. If I share screen, can you even see it on your phone?
No, I'm on my phone. No.
Okay. All right. So, but I'm gonna look at your site because let me just
Okay.
actually look at this page. So it's serving that page up for couples counseling searches
And marriage counseling.
and marriage counseling.
Even though I have all those terms and actually made some adjustments on your suggestion about a month ago, and
So
my rankings went up, but
well, I guess that's good, but still.
right.
Yeah. So when you're blogging on this LGBT page and you're linking back, you're using appropriate anchor text. Aha, here's a problem. So you have, like, I'm looking at one of the blog posts that's in your silo, Surviving a Breakup, a Gay Man's Story of Friendship. You have it in two categories. It's going to couples, it's in couples and LGBT.
Oh, okay.
Can you share your screen so we can see what
Oh, sorry.
you're doing? Thank you.
No worries. Maybe I can. There we go.
I mean, I put it to both because it kind of addresses both. and I'm trying to market to
Yeah,
gay couples.
I know.
So
But the
it's
problem
tricky
is,
there.
yeah, the problem is you're telling Google that this page has this LGBT page has a lot to do with couples because you're using the anchor text. It's in a blog category that has to do with couples, and at the bottom of the page you're linking back to your couples counseling page and your LGBT affirmative
Okay.
page. So really
Okay.
get really narrowly focused on those silos so that
Okay.
all your anchor text is appropriately going to the right pages.
When you say anchor text, which specific text are you looking at that you're identifying as anchor?
It's an anchor text is a word that is a link. So
Oh, okay.
at the bottom of your blog post, this gay man's story of friendship.
Right.
At the bottom of the post, it says, to find out more about my services as an LGBT affirmative therapist or marriage and couples counselor, click here. And it says couples counseling,
Okay.
which is anchor text, or here. LGBT.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah. So I would just break those out. I mean, it's ridiculous. We all know that, right? Gay people get married. They have couples problems and marriage problems just like everybody else. But if you don't want to show up, if you don't want the couples page to show up, or I mean the LGBT page to show up for couples issues, you can't tag it as such, which is what you're doing.
Okay. So that means I have to unlink those things and make sure that if I'm trying to market to couples, then take out the LGBT specific
Yep.
hot link or whatever it is.
Yep. Yep. Have those
Okay.
silos be totally independent of one another. No cross-pollination.
Okay. And so if I want to market directly to the LGBT couples or parents, then I have to make sure not to make reference to couples.
Here's
And
the
just
way
reference.
yeah, right. And here's the way to think of it. If somebody really wants an LGBT friendly therapy for their couples work, they're going to look for gay therapist, LGBT friendly therapist, whatever.
Right.
And if they don't care, they're going to look at couples.
Right.
And so they're going to, if they land on your couples page, awesome. They're still going to see in your specialties probably that you serve LGBT.
Right. They'll look, yeah, hopefully they'll look, poke around and then see, oh, look, she has a specialty and she has all this stuff. Okay. Yeah. Yay. Mystery solved.
Yeah, hopefully. I mean, do it. Of course, it's going to take Google a while to re-index all this stuff, right? And kind of reorient itself about what these pages are. But yeah, if you clean that up, that should get you on the right path. Your site's been up long enough that it has authority, so it shouldn't take that long.
Yeah. Okay. Great. That's what I needed. And if when I get back home and get into the nuts and bolts of it, if I can't figure it out, then I'll shoot you a question on the group or by email.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Let's swing
Great.
back around. Isaac.
That's it. Thank you.
Yeah, sure. Isaac, you have a quick one?
Yeah. So right now on my homepage, I have it listed as specialties. I have like each page an anxiety therapy. I didn't know if there was any benefit to having like a service page that has, individual counseling, family counseling, and then a specialties page that has all of like the anxiety therapy, depression therapy, addiction stuff that I do.
Hey, what's your URL again?
Wholewellnesstherapy.com.
Sometimes it's hard for me to picture all this stuff, so it's easier.
I also wanted to ask, I've got a lead magnet on there right now to collect email addresses, but it hasn't been very, I haven't gotten a ton of people that have signed up for it.
Yeah. Well, let's go to the first question.
Okay.
So you were wondering whether you should have individual therapy, family, whatever in the navigation?
Like I should have services with individual therapy and stuff and then have specialties be a sub instead of the way it is now, or if it doesn't really matter.
Nobody wakes up in the morning and says, I'm going to go search Google for individual therapy.
Yeah.
So So I think you're good. I mean, as long as these pages are optimized, they're going to rank and you should be fine.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Now what you could do, I mean, you go in group and you may end up having more people even, right? Are you going to go into couples
Um,
and
I-
family with the group or?
Potentially, I'm really going to try with the therapists that I'm hiring to kind of have their niche developed so that like they really want to work with an ideal client, like building one of these specialty pages around that.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So the one thing is the list is getting a little long. So if people come in and, somebody comes in, they got eating disorders, OCD, blah, 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 whatever, teen, children, families, couples, it's going to get a little unwieldy, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if that is the case, then go look at this site. Once you grow to that, go look at a big group site and see how they organize things. I'm bringing up Ornstein Solutions. And so when you grow to that point where you need to break things out by populations, you can. You see this, children, teens, adults, couples.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so you can do that. And then of course, you would have under adults, you would have a lot of that stuff that you have now.
Okay.
Whoops, sorry, wrong site. There you are. Yeah, you would have all this stuff under adults. And then for kids, you may have kids/teens and have child therapy or child counseling and teen counseling under it. You could just
Yeah, I
have
wasn't
family.
sure. If,
Yeah.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if I should, when you click on that services, if it should drop down with like the individual and then online therapy, and then have another separate thing like to where it's just specialties where it has this addiction, anxiety, grief, that kind of thing.
I don't think so. I think it's
Okay.
Yeah, I think the way you have it is better. You might want to actually rename services to specialties.
Okay.
It makes you appear to be more of an expert that way.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Yeah, and then you have this other nav down here, which is great. Yeah. So you're good. You're good. What was the question about the
So if you go to my home, click on my home page real quick.
opt-in?
Yeah.
Mhm.
I have, if you scroll down just a little bit, I have this right here, this lead magnet. And I've gotten some people and I've used it to kind of share when I've done presentations, webinars on addiction or whatnot. But, it's not getting a ton of hits. And I wonder if it's like people are like, oh, what's this guy trying to sell me? So I didn't know if I should like put that somewhere else, kind of get rid of that, or if that's really a good thing to have.
It's very typical. It's way too general, right? It's way too general. It's not hitting their pain point. So if you want to have opt-ins to start growing a list, you can create the opt-ins on the individual pages. So on addiction counseling, you could have, whatever. 5 ways to know whether you have an addiction problem or not, even if you don't think you do, or something like that, or whatever, right? Something that's going to be really intriguing to this population.
Okay.
That's what you need to do.
Okay.
And quizzes work better than free reports.
Okay.
Yeah.
What about like, since I have all these testimonials about my work, how do I change those or keep those if I'm growing this into this group practice model?
You get other people to start putting their testimonials in too. So you have separate, you eventually want about us, and then under that you want drop downs. Isaac, whoever, therapist 1, therapist 2, therapist 3. And each person will have their about page.
Okay.
Yeah. And then also put them in the sidebar. So if somebody specializes in anxiety in your practice, put them in the sidebar as the person who, so they can be, there's a seamless transition from somebody landing on this page and reading about anxiety and then seeing the picture of the therapist that they might work with, or 2 therapists who treat anxiety. You can go look at Lightway Psych and see how they do it.
Okay.
Or Ornstein Solutions, both of them. Okay.
Okay.
All right, we got 5 minutes left. Jennifer, I think you're next. You have a question?
Hello.
Hello.
Yeah. So I guess back to like the organic searches. What's like the easiest, quickest? Because I feel like I've done a lot, but I'm still not obviously getting the organic searches, showing up in the organic searches quite like I would like to. What's some of the quickest, easiest things you would suggest implementing or making sure that I have?
You have fully optimized long specialty pages, 1,000 to 1,200 words for each specialty.
Yeah, I have that.
And you have blog silos set up where you're doing interlinking with them.
Yep.
And you're not ranking for these terms that aren't even that competitive. That's kind of surprising. Post in the Facebook group, because I want to go actually look at your site and see if I can see anything obvious that is weird.
Okay.
Okay, because like maybe you have a site speed issue problem. Maybe you have some malware on your site or something. Google's dinging you. I don't know why you wouldn't rank for these terms that are not that competitive if you have it all set up correctly.
Okay.
You know, so it makes me wonder if something's off.
Okay. So post in the Facebook group?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And just say, hey, you know, I have it all set up correctly. I'm still not ranking. Can you take a peek? And I'll go look and see.
Okay.
Okay. Deborah, did you have another one?
No, I just have a lot to think about. So no, thank you.
Okay, Jerry, how about you? You're still muted.
There. No, I think I'm good. I've just got to, I just needed to know my next step, and I got to work on the blogs and the sidebars and reconfigure the contact
Okay.
form. So
Good. Awesome.
Yeah.
How about you,
Okay.
Diana? Anything?
I think I'm good for right now. I'm going to try to untangle the two specialties and the linking and hope that I can make sense of it when I'm in front of it. And then I'll reach out. I'll reach out as needed.
Okay. Yeah, that's cool. All right.
Thank you.
Yeah, sure. All right. Does anyone else have a burning question in our last minute and a half?
I'll throw something out real quick.
Yeah.
I noticed I tested my loading times, and they're not so great. I'm not sure where to go with that. It didn't seem like the pictures were that much, you know, in the detailed information. It's more the CSS script and the JS script or something like that.
Yeah.
I'm not sure where to go with that.
Often, even though image optimization may be the third on the list, if you do it, it helps you a lot. And it's the lowest hanging fruit. So I would, you know, load, I mean, especially your banners and stuff like that.
Yeah, I've double checked. Most of those I've reduced in size significantly,
Okay.
but I can double check. Maybe I missed one or two in there when I was throwing things
Yeah,
up.
and then maybe do some other images, you know, just throw them in Optimizilla or whatever and compress them. And usually that helps. And it's the least technical thing to do. We also have a developer who can go in and look at the CSS and all that kind of stuff if you want to do it. It's pretty much an hour for optimizing site speed, period, minimum. And we'll go in and do an hour's worth of work, and we'll come back and say, hey, we got it from here to here.
At how much an hour? What's the hourly cost?
$80 an hour.
Okay, I might do that.
And,
yeah,
and then we could also come back and say, you know, we did this amount of work, but we think there's some benefit to do this other thing. Let you know. You can make a decision after the hour.
Great. Okay. Thank you.
Hey, Becky, I might be interested in that too. What's the best way to contact you?
You can just email me at becky@counselingwise.com.
And your consulting that you said, is that an hour as well?
Yeah, but that's me. I'm more expensive than they are. So
Yeah.
Yeah, you can just tell me that you want to do that, and we could set that up. Yeah.
Hey, Becky, I just tested my site speed. Google says it's slow, so maybe that's where I need to start.
Yeah, that might be why you're not. Yeah.
So is optimizing the images one of the things that slows it down the most?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, non-optimized images slow it down the most.
Well, yes.
Yes, yes, yes.
Optimizing my images. I don't think
That's
I've done that.
Yeah,
So
that'll make a big difference.
the blog you sent out for with the blogs, there was something on there about in the tutorial about optimizing images, wasn't there? So is it the same process for the
It's
website?
in PPU. It's in PPU. Yeah.
Okay.
If you
I'll
just
dig
go
and
in there
find
and search on images, you should find it. And I really have to hop, you guys, because I'm a minute late to a call already. It's
Okay.
one of those days for me. So
Thanks.
thanks for being here. And I'll see you all next month and post things in the Facebook group and I'll get back to you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Becky.
Bye.
All right. See you later.
Bye.
Bye.